Hello and welcome to ExcelDashboardTemplates.com. This is Steve Equals True. Please visit my blog at ExcelDashboardTemplates.com where you're sure to get the latest posts, tips, tricks, and techniques and learn everything about Excel. All right, today is my answer to the Friday challenge. Not sure if this is the right answer or any better answer. In my mind, it is a little bit better. We had a couple of our MVPs out there, Pete and Don. They submitted their answers and they said, why don't you use conditional formatting to say, whenever this changes, and this was a time series for, say, let's say different products, and these times are in seconds. And they said the user wanted to know when a certain product changed a value at a certain second interval. So at 599 seconds, this is when LTE changed. Now, some folks said conditional formatting can give you your answer here, and that's certainly not a bad way to go. My only issue with the conditional formatting, it does show this to you, but this time interval might get really long. Maybe there's many different discrete values all across the board. And also 0 to 573 seconds to 599 seconds. What if one is 100 seconds? I don't know that if there was one in here at 100 seconds, if you would really see. It looks like it's the second out of 4 if there was another line inserted in here, and that's when that one turned. It doesn't quite give you the same scale of time that we really want to show. So now some folks might come in here and say, okay, well, let's go ahead and create a line chart. Let's do an insert. Let's go or let's say a column chart. Column chart might even work a little better. So in this column chart here, you can see we just need to switch the rows. So the first interval at 0, the BS1 was the only one that had turned to a 1. BS2 never does change. BS3 goes at 573, and likewise LTE goes at 599 seconds. Now, once again, very similar to conditional formatting. This is really not a time scale here. It's 3 separate columns. The same thing would show up if we change this to a line chart. It just doesn't give you the. Let's go ahead and switch it actually. Let's change the chart type here and change it over to a line chart and click on OK. Just doesn't give you the same concept of when things change. If we delete a lot of these different lines so you can kind of just see one of them, let's look at LTE specifically. It was at 0, at 573, it goes up to 599. Just not sure it really represents that it wasn't 3 periods, it was 599 seconds, so it could be different all over the board. So here's what my idea was, what I would suggest doing is let's do a step chart with this and set the date access to a date time series. Let me show you how we go about doing that. Let's just highlight this range here to make our step chart. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to put it right down here below my data. Now to make a quick and easy time step chart, we want to delete this value and we want to delete the last values, this category I should say, and then these values here, which are our last values of our very first part of the series before we copied it. So if I come up here and right click on that cell and hit my delete key, oops, there's delete menu choice and shift cells up. Likewise, I'm going to do that here on this set of data there. Right click and do delete entire row up. Alright, so now we have our data set up for our step chart. Now what I want to do is I want to highlight the time section here. I want to go up to my home ribbon and then change the number format to a short date. It's going to look kind of strange because it's all within 1900, 1901, but that's going to give us what we want in our chart. Now we're going to highlight that entire range, go up to our insert ribbon, then we're going to go over to our line chart here and insert a line chart. Now you can see our step chart is taking form. I'm going to actually delete some of these different lines like BS1. I'm going to delete the BS3 and BS2 will show up here in a minute, but let's go ahead and just, we can see LTE fine. So you can see that at some point in time it changes to a value of 1 here, and what we want to do is just go down and on this horizontal axis, go ahead and right click on that and do format access, and then we want to change our access options here. See where it says automatically select it? That's great. That's given us what we want. Alternately, if you can force it to do date access. If you do text access, you notice it's going and looking like that previous chart that we had. So that's why we want to change those to a short date. But my numbers look really strange right now. I can't actually see the number of seconds. So under our access options here, we want to change the number, and we want to change the number from a date to custom. And we want to change our custom value to a specific type you can type in here. I just typed in, you can just do pound 0 and click on add, and you'll notice that we now have on our chart here we have the number of seconds are showing up on the bottom, even though they look like a date field over in our data. Now if we change some of these values, like let's say we changed this to 1, we can actually get these values a little bit different here. Let's change this to, let's go to 1902 right now. My delete key is not working. There we go. Backspace, 1902, and hit enter. You can see we get lots of different ones. And then let's change our interval here from months to, say, years. You can kind of see that we are getting now more of a range, and that if you had different lines showing up in here, or different products change their values to 1, you would see the discrete number of seconds, and versus if they were columns where the categories are set in 1 section for a clustered column, 2 sections, and 3. So it's just an easy way to create a step chart for this data. This is my solution. Now, once again, it's certainly not the biggest and best, but it's one way that I thought we could represent the data and still show, since this is really a time series and it can change at different amounts of seconds, that we can really show when does it change across a spectrum of time. Once again, this is Steve Equals True. Please visit my blog at excel-templates.com. Also, please subscribe to my video channel so that you're sure to get the latest posts delivered directly to your inbox. Thank you.